Once upon a time, in a magical land far away, there lived a brave and kind-hearted young man named Serge. He had always been fascinated by the stories of knights and princesses, and he dreamed of one day going on his own adventure. He lived in a small village at the edge of the forest, where he helped his father in their family-owned farm. But deep inside, he always felt that there was something more waiting for him outside the village. One day, while on his way to the market, Serge stumbled upon a beautiful young woman named Julia who was lost in the woods. She was a fairy who had been banished from her kingdom by an evil sorcerer who had taken over the land. Julia was in search of a brave knight who could help her reclaim her kingdom and defeat the evil sorcerer. Upon seeing the sadness and fear in her eyes, Serge knew that he had to help her. Together, they journeyed through the dark forests, crossed treacherous rivers, and climbed towering mountains. Along the way, they encountered many challenges, but with their combined strength and determination, they were able to overcome them all. They developed a close bond, and as time passed, they fell deeply in love with each other. Finally, they reached the evil sorcerer's castle, which was guarded by an army of fierce monsters. But Serge and Julia were not afraid. They charged into battle, fighting side by side until they reached the sorcerer himself. The sorcerer was a formidable opponent, but Serge and Julia refused to give up. However, their happiness was short-lived. One day, while they were out riding in the forest, they were ambushed by a group of bandits. The bandits were ruthless and cruel, and they had no qualms about killing anyone who got in their way. Serge and Julia were taken captive and brought to their leader, a ruthless warlord named Gorgon. Gorgon was known throughout the land as a brutal and heartless tyrant. He had amassed an army of bandits and mercenaries and had set his sights on conquering every kingdom in the land. He saw Julia as a valuable prize, and he planned to use her to gain control over her kingdom. Serge and Julia were thrown into a dungeon, where they were left to rot. But even in their darkest hour, they never lost hope. They knew that they had to find a way to escape and stop Gorgon from carrying out his evil plans. With his strength and determination, Serge was able to break out of their cell. He fought his way through the bandits, freeing other prisoners along the way. Together, they launched an attack on Gorgon's stronghold, using their combined strength to defeat his army and finally defeat him in battle. With Gorgon defeated and his army scattered, Serge and Julia were finally able to return to their kingdom, where they were greeted as heroes. They ruled with kindness and justice, and their people loved them dearly. They had many children, and their kingdom flourished under their wise and just rule. Their story became the stuff of legends, and parents would often tell their children tales of the brave knight Serge and the beautiful fairy Julia, who together fought evil and brought peace to their land. Their love for each other never wavered, and their legacy lived on for generations to come.